Hey y'all, Wiggle here, updating you on my study project, office study type thing. 70 degrees in here. I got my new twin ball in, 2 layers, one in and one out with the airspace in between. Got it caulked in with clear caulk, so it's already quite a bit brighter in here than it was. I got rid of that middle bar that was in there. And it's not drafty at all, so it's very well sealed. Might be a problem later in summer, but we'll see. Got my Baofeng set up, so I put it where it wouldn't get in the way of the plants that I'm watering. I didn't want it to get wet, and then I didn't want it to block the window, so I hung it this little contraption here so I can keep it charged. So here's my new shelf that I went and got yesterday from Lowe's, 6-footer. There's outside is the edge of my porch right here. So I just wanted a 6-footer. That way, I figure it's going to be too shady back in that area. And they didn't have any 8-foot shelves anyway. Everything was 6 foot, or like 12, and I didn't need 12. So still working on organizing. Haven't managed all that, but I'm dragging stuff in here from all over everywhere and getting it put up a little at a time. So there's a clear shower curtain there in front. I built these shelves yesterday. I just cut the little shelves. I just used, I don't know, these are my like 14, 16 inch bolt cutters. So I just cut the shelf with that. Older pieces of shelves. Turned them upside down to help hold the tray. So that is a little area. I'm hoping these will be for tomatoes and peppers to be sprouted and taken care of. I got a container and fashioned it. I had to notch it and cut it so it would fit there. That way when it drains through, I use draining trays. I don't use trays that hold water. I think it creates too much problems. So anyway, that will be coming up very soon. And I have at Walmart, I scored some Wally World, scored some sweet potatoes and some strawberries, and they actually pretty decent looking strawberry plants. So I went and bought another bag of each. I thought I had gotten a different variety. They're the same variety. Well, I got some All-Stars here. Quinolt. I've never said that out loud before. I have those kind in my garden, but an All-Star. $3, 10 roots, and they're pretty nice. When you're picking them out, put your hand around it and just find the biggest, fattest one you can get. Some of them will be like that, and then you get one like that, and you know you got some good roots in there. So got that new shelf in. Got this. This is a DC powered fan here. It takes 6 DC batteries, and they're rechargeable. And I'm doing it off grid on purpose to see about blowing air in there. Let me show you again. Swing this around. 70 degrees. So I still have a lot of organizing to do. Now we did mix up some dirt and fill some trays. They are not planted yet. I'm going to do that. And I got my heat pads underneath there. It's going to be 22 degrees tonight. However, right now, peak heat of the day, 86, 88. Pretty nice. So again, more of my heat pads are in, and got my dirt ready. We mixed in some compost. I'll show you that. I got this 6-foot shelf. I had to use a joiner on it. This is, you can kind of see the way that I use the hardware. This is just pipe strap strap with a bolt in it. Drilled holes in the ends and just shoved it in the wood. So that, and it's very sturdy. So this was an existing one over here. This one with the narrow front on it is new. Pretty heavy duty. Here's an update on the willow and rosemary. One of my rosemaries decided to bloom. Kind of weird. I just watered it. So those little willow twigs are growing, and the rosemary hasn't died yet. So we'll keep it on and try to get some rooted cuttings. So I'm going to be mixing some compost into this dirt. It's actually a lot better dirt than it looks. It's just really dry. So this is where we're at with the see my nice level shelf up there. So this is where we're at. This will only be good for like starting up here, because once they start to grow, you got a couple inches. But I can put trays up here, especially if they're not going to need to be as much water. So I'm putting heat from this 90-degree room into this room. I got the storage room open just to catch thermal heat, and then I got the window open to the house, so my heat's going in there too. So all this heat, I'm catching as much free heat as I can, because we don't have the wood burning stove going downstairs or anything. So this is this really works. And my passive solar collector up there, not on right now. I've got to get the fan plugged in, and then I got to find, there's a thermostat, a wireless thermostat that we can use upstairs to control the fan. It should just be hardwired to a thermostat to come on automatically, but I don't have it. I'm not there yet. So anyway, I'll be working on getting these heating pads wired in. If I get these planted, I'm going to do the potatoes and the strawberries first, and the planters first, I think. I don't know, we'll see. Let me show you what I'm going to work on now. I'm grabbing a battery. Here's my charging area. A giant reverse Faraday cage to keep all that EMF inside there. Because whenever you're converting AC to DC, that's some nasty nasty EMF waves. So I'll put it inside this metal cabinet, reduce, and then I have all my but I have some battery chargers in here. So this is just where I'll charge. I was just coming to grab an extra battery for the project here. Four bars. So we're going to have like 3 excellent days of weather, and today's pretty nice as well. But every day's nicer, and then it's not so nice. Night though, it's going to be like 22, so it's still cold at night. Right now it's almost 50. Pretty nice. So I'm going to go close up the side on my tank from over there. Oh, I got a panel down. Sheesh, I hope it's not laying on the ground. Hold on. Never mind, spastic moment. I thought I only saw 4 panels there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That last panel is loose. It's not even mounted right, but it's still standing, strangely. So in the next few days, I'm going to be putting my 6th panel on there. That's one thing I'm going to do. Going to work on the loader. I'm going to try to, I got an injector tester, so I'm going to pull the injectors out and test them and see if that's the problem with it not moving. Then I got a control arm to put on my Ford 2006 Ford 500 fancy Taurus. That's got like 300,000 on it. Still going. So I'm still fixing it and driving. It's just old beater. So I got to work on the injector. I got to work on the Ford 500. I got to get that 6 solar panel installed. And right now I'm just going to close this up because it's been sitting unattended for a little bit. So I'm going to button this mess up. But we haven't had any freezing yet. Still waiting on my DC drip tape to seal up. so I make it any time. Then I can get rid of this stupid cord when I get my DC grip tape. And I did get my temperature controller, so I will show you that. My thermostat, it's a little universal DC thermostat I'm going to use to wire up that drip tape. Could just kind of unplug it and plug it in, but I want it to come on like at 40 and just stay on or whatever until it gets to, or I'll have it kick on at 40, kick off at 40. I don't know. I'll figure anyway. Blah blah. So I'm going to get this put back together. I'll keep you updated on my other projects. So this is wiggle out for now. As I'm going back to, I got to drill a hole in this board for the wire. Fancy scratch there for my. But you see all this looks like dark mud. It's all compost. So you can kind of see the little mud puddles. Not where the tire tracks are, but back there a little bit more. That's where we've been digging out our wheelbarrows of compost, and I'm going to show you that. So there it is, right out of the ground. I just shake it to this shopping basket first, kind of like a sieve, and then I have just a hardware cloth right there that I shake it through that. And then I'm going to mix it like 25-35% into those big pots. So I'll just amend it. It doesn't really work well by itself. It's not finished enough to really just be straight dirt on its own. But when I mix it in, it just lightens the soil and it brings a lot of nutrients and it's good. I find it's just not quite, it's just weird. It just dries out. It doesn't work as potting soil all by itself. And I wanted to show you what we're doing around here. This is where I was digging out that sump pump. That's the Virginia clay, red clay. That's what we have here. That's a lot of times the topsoil. If you look around, if you're ever in red clay territory and you see people doing gardens and stuff, it's red like that. What we're doing here is we're changing what used to look like that, and you can just see how dark everything is everywhere. That is why you have to have animals. This is why you have all these chickens running around and you have goats and cows running around. They're changing the soil from that to that, from that to that. And you really don't grow much of that red clay. It's not great. It's okay if you mix it in with other stuff, but all by itself, there's not enough life in it. So anyway, this is our main industry. It's just transforming topsoil. That is the basis of all life, really, except, like in the ocean, water life or whatever. But on the land, that's the soil, that's the life, all source of nutrition. So we should be making compost, not little piles, but huge, gigantic, massive, out of balance piles of just black stuff.